The Developer of the Year is the highest honor that stands for quality and integrity, both professionally and in local communities. This is the 39th year that NAIOP has presented the award to a company that has proven exemplary in the criteria you see on the screens. A dedicated committee puts in a tremendous amount of time and effort into reviewing our applicants and selecting our winner. Please join me in thanking this year's committee for their hard work: Joan Woodard, Colin Klisch, Greg Fuller, Sarah Knutson, and Dirk Melton. From diverse products and exemplary service to a strong presence in their markets and community involvement and participation in NAIOP, our Developer of the Year always outperforms the competition. This year's recipient is no different. St. John's Properties is a commercial real estate developer and owner with 19 million square feet of Class A commercial office, flex R&D, retail and warehouse space, as well as more than 2,500 residential units. By the end of 2019, the company portfolio will expand to approximately 20 million square feet. Founded by Edward St. John in 1971, St. John's Properties has grown to become the largest privately held commercial real estate firms in the Mid-Atlantic region today, and with clients in 8 states. The company has earned U.S. Green Building certification for 43 buildings, representing more than 2.3 million square feet of space across its portfolio, and nearly every new building developed by St. John's Properties is designed to earn LEED certification. The company's culture is serving communities, has earned it as a ranking as one of the 10 largest philanthropists in the Baltimore metro area by the Baltimore Business Journal. St. John's Properties is the first company in the NAIOP Maryland chapter to receive this award since its inception, and only the second commercial real estate firm headquartered in Maryland to to be recognized. For these reasons and many more, St. John Properties is well deserving of this honor to be named the 2018 Developer of the Year. Please sit back and enjoy a short presentation on St. John's Properties and its accomplishments.
Today, St. John Properties is a national leader with exceptional projects in 8 states and a portfolio of more than 19 million square feet and growing.
Sort of like planting a seed of corn. You look at that little kernel, you'd never believe what's going to come out of that ground. And it's the same thing here.
But the story of St. John Properties begins in 1967 in southwest Baltimore, where Edward St. John was building a small real estate development company, brick by brick.
Moving is the most traumatic thing a company can do. And when a tenant needs space and you have it, you are satisfying his basic need. And you can satisfy his basic need, he loves you.
The first buildings were one-story block buildings and office parks across Baltimore that were exactly what small companies needed. It became the home of hundreds of businesses and the foundation of St. John Properties.
We're in 8 states now, and through our partner and training program, we'd like to open up more and more satellite offices going forward.
And it was done how St. John always builds, on spec.
We think in terms of what does the market need? How's the market changing? How long will this building be useful? Everything we build is vacant the day we finish it. And we have to go out and look for tenants.
Building on spec made St. John Properties what it is today and has helped thousands of businesses grow for decades.
Creative Print Group has been a client of St. John Properties since 1997. We started with 12,000 square feet and we've grown into 25,000 square feet. As my business has grown and the complexity of it, St. John Properties has been there every step of the way.
We've been a client of St. John Properties for over 10 years now, and it's been a fabulous relationship. We have tremendous respect for them. They're great to work with, and we're very pleased and proud of our association with St. John Properties.
When you think of St. John, you know that they're going to put you in a first-class building. But I think their major strength is their communication. They are always address whatever your needs are. They don't put you off to someone else.
One of the main secrets to our longevity is we are long-term real estate investors.
Another secret of St. John's success is one of the best parts of the company, their people. Many employees have been with St. John for 10, 20, and even 30 plus years.
over 40% of our current employees have been with us greater than 10 years. And I think the significance of that is that the reputation the company has and our employees have in the market and the industry.
You could easily judge St. John Properties by its growth and success on paper. From its humble beginnings in Maryland in 1971, then to Colorado in 1987, to Wisconsin in 1989, on to Northern Virginia in 1996, Louisiana in 2000, then Pennsylvania and Nevada in 2012, followed by Utah in 2014.
The evolution has been extremely exciting, learning the new product types and getting involved in those markets, and it's just broadened our overall perspective.
Whether it's office, retail, warehouse, mixed use, residential, or hospitality space, St. John Properties is at the heart of building communities. Everywhere we build, we're giving back.
We take 7.5% of our money and we give it to charity. We have done a lot of help with our money, about $60 million in helping different parts of formal education. It's I think a great achievement to be able to give that kind of money to help education.
Our greatest educational accomplishment is the impact derived through the Edward St. John Learning and Teaching Center at the University of Maryland College Park. The 187,000 square foot center serves more than 12,000 students a day and has become a national prototype for innovation in education. The center has created a new model of collaborative learning and teaching, transforming the traditional educational experience between faculty and students. It is not state-of-the-art, it is cutting edge. Our promise in industry speak? Vertically integrated with a financially stable, growing portfolio, sustainable building, superior service to our tenants, and their growth within our portfolio. Our promise in plain English, a commitment from the top to helping people grow, our clients, our employees, and our communities. Back then, now, and into the future.
I feel that the greatest achievement that we've ever accomplished is this Developer of the Year award.
St. John Properties is honored to be selected as NAIOP's 2018 Developer of the Year.
On behalf of NAIOP, it is my honor to present St. John's Properties with the 2018 Developer of the Year Award. Edward St. John, founder and chairman, is accepting the award today. Edward, please join me up on the stage.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Say some remarks?
Yes. Okay. Good morning. And thank you for that wonderful introduction. And I just realized that my speech pretty much is going to reiterate what you just saw on the screen, but I guess that's okay. We are truly humbled to accept this award from my company. It is just unbelievable. I never in my wildest dreams ever thought I'd be up here accepting this award. The selected Developer of the Year was never in our wheelhouse. In fact, when Rick Williamson, our Senior Vice President of Leasing, called me, I called him back in about a half hour and I said, "You mean Maryland, don't you?" He said, "No, it's the Developer of the Year from NAIOP, National." And then about 4 hours later, I called him back. I said, "You got to tell me that again. Are you sure?" I couldn't believe it. Anyway, it is a true honor when we look back over the other companies that have won this award to be in the same league with companies like Trammell Crow, JBG, and Prologis is just amazing for our little company. Our entire organization takes great pride in this achievement. When I started in 1971, I was determined to work hard, build a successful company, and give back to the community that we worked in. In the 47 years that we've been in business is a testament to our employees and partners, vendors, and the real estate community and others that we work with and who have supported us over the years. We started with approximately 50,000 square feet and 2 or 3 employees back, as I said, in 1971, to a portfolio you just heard by the end of 19 that will exceed 20 million. We have 190 employees and assets of $3 billion. And we serve over 2,100 clients. I want you all to know they used to be called tenants, but today we call them clients. But anyway, we're in 8 states, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Wisconsin, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, and Louisiana. One of the main keys to our success is the energy we put into hiring. We go way out of the norm when it comes to hiring people, and we believe that every position in the company needs a certain personality for that person to be happy, and I do mean that. We have come, after about 2 or 3 years, realized that certain people are not happy in the job they do. We try to put them in a different job, and we want every employee to be happy. And if they're not, we don't really fire people in general. We generally try to help them find a place in a company where they can be happy, because if they're happy, then the company they're working with gets the best use of them. And most of our people, 40% of our people, have been with us over 10 years, and you saw that on the screen. But one of the things you didn't see is, Bob Becker, where are you? Is Bob here this morning? There he is, over there. Bob has been with us for 43 years, and we have many people with us, 20, 30, and as you saw, 43 years. Bob is the Senior Vice President. Our dedicated employees have been trained and willingly put our clients number one, and they spend every day solving the real estate needs of our clients. We joke in the company that once you become a St. John Properties client, you will never leave unless you have to. And many of our clients outgrow our buildings or want to have their own building. And they always say, God, I wish I hadn't left, because we solve their real estate needs. I mean, our leases are like everybody else's. They say, the landlord takes care of the roof and the parking lot, and you take care of everything else, except we say, don't worry about it. Just give us a call, and we'll take care of it. And we do. We take care of every need the tenant has, and we have in-house people that can do it. And our computers and our paychecks have the statement on them, our clients pay your checks. Please treat them accordingly. And that is how we run our company. And looking back over the evolution of the company for 47 years, we have developed some core principles that we live by. And the first one is, as you can imagine, listen to your clients. And we're known in the Baltimore area as the Flex King. And the reason we're known that way is early on, I happened to be standing at one of our buildings while we were under construction, one of our projects. And the first building we had built, I knew one of the tenants because I had rented it to him. And he walked up to me and he said, Ed, I spend more time in my office, and he was, I think, in the shipping business. why can't it look as good looking as my house? And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, you've got the paving right up to the front door. There's no landscaping out here. He says, it's functional, but it looks like hell. And I said, okay, well, I got a foundation. We're just about to start. If you're willing to pay us more money, we can put in landscaping and brick instead of block. And so I did it. The building right behind his, I can actually show it to you today. One is block with asphalt right up to the front door. The other one is brick. It's beautiful. It's got landscaping, about 20 feet of green space in the front. And he did. He paid us more money to be in a beautiful building. Well, that was the start in our area of the Flex building, a beautiful landscaped, what appeared to be a one-story office building, and when you went around the back, there was a loading dock. And it is the core of our business, and it's how we first started. Then we expanded into office space, both multi-story and one-story, then retail, and today we have just recently gotten into building new multifamily residential. But we always listen to our clients, whether it's the multifamily residential clients, the office building clients, everyone, we listen. And our project managers have been trained to do that. And we interview every one of our tenants once a year. We have a group that just goes and interviews the tenants to make sure that we are giving them the service that they deserve and more. Number two, we only build spec. It was mentioned in the film, but I think they just kind of glanced over it. Early on, we got involved in a build-to-suit, and it was one of the most horrendous experiences of my life. I mean, we were no longer in charge. By the end of the project, I found out that the owner's wife knew more about construction than I did. And I just said, this is not worth the trouble. We can't do this. So from then on, we only build spec, and as you heard, by the end of 2019, we will have 20 million square feet, and all of it was built on spec. And when you build a build-to-suit, it ends up being a one-purpose building for that kind of business. And if the tenant ever leaves, which he usually does somewhere between 10 and 15 years, either goes broke or doubles his size and wants another building, you have to go out and lease that building to that kind of business. Well, we build buildings that are general purpose for almost anybody, and we can adopt them. Number three, build sustainable buildings. As you heard, we have 44 LEED certified buildings, and that's 2.4 million square feet. We have 28 more that are just about to be certified, and that will be 1.8 million square feet, and all of our new buildings are eligible to be LEED certified. As I told you before about give clients superior service, this is really one of our, really truly, not only one of our core principles, but is one of our secrets to success. We are vertically integrated. From acquisitions, development, construction, leasing, space planning, interior improvements, maintenance, and property management. We do it all in-house. And we will not do third-party management. And you probably ask why. If you're so good at this, why won't you do it for other people and make a fee? Because we don't want the competition to have our edge. We go around telling, when we meet prospective clients, we tell them about the wonderful service they're going to get from ABC and whoever else is around. And pretty much in where we are, it gets well known about our incredible service. You know, when that toilet is overflowing, I hate to say it, but it always happens. I don't care where you are, how big a building or anything else. To know that you can pick up that phone and in less than 15 minutes, somebody's going to be there fixing it, or when that roof starts leaking. And our clients know that. And that's why there's usually tears in their eyes when they have to leave us. And the other thing is, our clients on a yearly average, grow about 20% a year. And so we kind of know, waking up every January 1st, that we need to produce 20% more space just to take care of the internal growth. And the other thing I made a note of here, we are no longer doing bulk warehouse. Because in bulk warehouse business, as we were talking this morning, there are REITs that will pay you sub 5% cap rate on an empty bulk warehouse. And we do have a few planned, and we have them already lined up to buy them empty. And we'll do that, but we will not manage bulk warehouse. In a bulk warehouse, you are renting dry air, and the tenant will go down the street to rent somebody else's dry air for 15 cents a square foot, and we are not in the economical dry air business. We're in the service business. We also believe that real estate, and that's number 5 on our list here of priorities, we believe that real estate is a local business. We do not go anywhere that we do not have a trained partner. And we have a partner in training program. It's a 4-year program, and we bring in people right out of college who either have their MBAs or Master of Science in real estate, or are willing to get it and willing to sign up for our 4-year program. Now, we pay them well if they qualify to be there, and they spend a year in 6 months in property management, 6 months in tenant improvements, 2 years in leasing, and 1 year in shell construction. And then we mutually agree on a place, and they go out. And our latest project was Daniel Thomas. Where are you? There he is, right there. Daniel Thomas. He was our partner who just, 2.5, 3 years ago went out to Utah and is just going great guns out there. If you haven't been to Salt Lake City, I have never seen anything quite like it. Little Salt Lake City, the construction crane must be the town animal or something. I don't know what it is. They're everywhere. And every big high-tech name you can think of is out there. And Daniel built a 190,000 square foot building. And I got to tell you, people say I tread where angels fear to go. We never built a building that big, and it's pretty much spoken for already by multiple tenants, not just one tenant. The market out in Salt Lake City is just incredible. We also believe in being a good corporate citizen. That is number 6 on our list. The example is the gate. It was on the video, and you saw that big star, that 20-foot tall star. The gate at Aberdeen Proving Grounds, also known as APG locally, in 2014, Major General Harold Green was killed in Afghanistan. He served at APG before he went to Afghanistan. He was the highest-ranking officer killed in duty since the Vietnam War. So in 2015, we designed and constructed that star you saw on the video. And in 2015, and we called it the Fallen Star Memorial. In 2016, we designed and constructed, and I know it was on the video, but I think it very quick, there was a statue of a woman sitting on a bench. That was to memorialize the Gold Star mothers and families. Now, the Gold Star mothers and families are the people who have lost loved ones in the line of duty. So that's how we memorialize that. Number 7 is we fund the Edward St. John Foundation. And as you heard, we give 7.5% of our net profit to the foundation. And Sharon Akers, where are you? Here she is, right there. That's the president of our foundation, and that's the girl who gives away the $60 million. So if you're in need of money, see Sharon. We do believe that education has the power to transform lives and strengthen communities. Our greatest achievement, we feel, and you saw it up there, is the Edward St. John Learning and Teaching Center at the University of Maryland. Now, I have to admit, I only worked on the exterior of the building and the architecture. I wanted it to stay in keeping with the Georgian architecture that makes Maryland's buildings very prominent. Most architects today want buildings to stand out, so when you see it, you know that ABC Architecture Company did it. I wouldn't let that happen. But Sharon was on the committee that worked to transform education in the United States. I want to repeat that because it is so powerful. That building is the national model for higher education in the United States. And I'm going to explain it to you and take the time to do this. I am sure everybody here went to college. You sat in the same room as I did, and I have to admit I fell asleep, and you saw a professor somewhere down the middle, and you were with 200 people. Usually it was too hot or too cold because we didn't have air conditioning in those days. And as I said, I fell asleep. At the University of Maryland, back when I went to school, you needed a 2.0 to graduate, and being an overachiever, I gave him a 2.01. But I got out. Anyway, that building is 187,000 square feet. That's the equivalent of 6 football fields. Just think about that. It's got 12 tiered classrooms. Now, what is a tiered classroom? Well, you remember before it was, like an auditorium. Every row went up there, and there were 200 people sitting around. There's little desks with the arms on them, taking notes, falling asleep, whatever. But usually at night, you met with a bunch of your buddies, and you went over the problems. And that was your homework, over the problems. Well, they've reversed it. You now walk into the room with a bunch of buddies, sit down at a table like these tables here, except they're oblong as opposed to round, and you work on a problem. And the professor walks around and helps you if you have a question. And some teaching assistants walk around, and you can tell them that they put on these bright orange and bright yellow baggy t-shirts so you can see them, and they help you with your problem. And the lecture, you have to download the lecture the night before. So that's what learning in college is now at the University of Maryland. 12,000 students a day go in that building. 12,000. We were down there the other day, and it's just amazing. Every seat in the common areas is taken. They have 3 restaurants, and they've nicknamed the building the Eddy. So all the students now go to the Eddy. The student union, they're going to have to tear it down. It's empty. There's nobody there anymore. Anyway, that we feel is our greatest achievement in national learning. And I wished I had gone there. I may have gotten better grades. Anyway, NAIOP is the leading commercial real estate development association in the country. There's no question of that. As founding members of the Maryland chapter, we actively supported the membership and the leadership with people on various boards. Currently, we have 29 members in NAIOP, including 3 board members, and we are proud to be part of this exceptional organization. We also are one of the 3 people in the Baltimore area who have agreed to be part of the penny per square foot program that supports our legislative committees. And I think that that is one of the strongest assets of NAIOP. If you let those bureaucrats run amok, they will kill you. If you're in the buying and selling business, it doesn't matter, but when you're in the development business, it's just insane. I mean, Maryland had, under a previous administration, passed a rain tax. They were taxing the rain falling out of the sky on your asphalt because you had the audacity to put a parking lot in. So we're going to tax you. Thank God the new governor rescinded that thing. It's insane. Anyway, thank you, NAIOP, for helping us with those people. I want to thank NAIOP, the award selection committee, and all the individuals instrumental in our receipt of this award. In closing, I would like to recognize and thank our partners, vendors, contractors, and associates, many of whom have been with us for decades. Being named Developer of the Year is a tremendous honor. Our employees are proud of the company that we have built, and I'd like to ask our employees to stand up and be recognized. You are the reason we are here. It's not me, it's you. And I want to tell you, we have about 100 of our 190 employees here, and I want to thank you all for getting up so early and getting on a bus to get here. But I want to thank you for getting us this award. I never, ever believed we'd do it, but it's great. This national recognition validates our corporate culture of performing to the best of our ability every day. And again, thank you.